The wedding night. For most girls, it's supposed to be the beginning of a beautiful dream. New hopes, new life, new love. But for Ayesha, this night was going to change everything. Ayesha was an orphan. She had grown up in a small orphanage on the edge of the city, a place where she learned to survive, not to dream. She never knew what it felt like to be loved by parents. No warm hugs, no bedtime stories. Just silence and loneliness. As she grew older, she stopped expecting anything from life. Until one day, everything changed. Ayesha, there's a proposal for you, the caretaker told her. Ayesha was shocked. For me? She couldn't believe it. Someone wanted to marry her. The man is wealthy, respectable, and he can give you a good life. Ayesha stayed quiet. Something didn't feel right. How old is he? She asked softly. The caretaker hesitated. 40. Ayesha's heart skipped a beat. She was only 20. But what choice did she have? A few days later, she was married. Her husband, Haris, was a quiet man. Calm, serious, and hard to read. There was something in his eyes, something she couldn't understand. When she arrived at his house, it was huge, beautiful, almost like a palace. But strangely, it didn't feel like a home. There was a silence in the walls, a coldness she couldn't explain. That night, Ayesha sat on the bed, waiting. The door slowly opened. Haris walked in. He looked at her for a moment, then asked in a low voice, "Do you trust me?" Ayesha was confused, but she nodded. "Yes." Haris took a deep breath. "Whatever happens tonight, you will not ask any questions." A chill ran down her spine. Before she could react, he handed her a cloth. "Cover your eyes." "Why?" she asked, nervous. "It's a tradition." His voice was cold, unfamiliar. With trembling hands, Ayesha tied the cloth over her eyes. Moments later, she felt him holding her arm, guiding her somewhere. Her heart was racing. When the cloth was finally removed, she froze. She was in a dark room. Strange symbols were drawn on the walls, and in front of her stood several people, their faces covered, silent, watching her. Fear took over her entire body. "What is this?" she screamed. Haris stepped forward. "This is the truth you were never meant to know." Tears rolled down her face. "You lead to me." He smiled. A cold, terrifying smile. "No, this is just the beginning." Suddenly, the lights went out. Darkness swallowed everything. Ayesha screamed, but no one answered. Then, a bright flash of light, and everything disappeared. She was alone. No people. No Haris. Just an empty room. Breathing heavily, she ran out. The house was silent, like nothing had ever happened. The next morning, Haris returned, calm. Normal. Where were you last night? He asked. Ayesha stared at him in disbelief. You're asking me that? He smiled slightly. You must have had a dream. But Ayesha knew. It wasn't a dream. Something was very wrong. She decided to find the truth. That afternoon, she searched the house, room by room, step by step, until she found something unusual. A hidden door. Her hands were shaking, but she opened it. Inside, what she saw changed everything. Dozens of photographs, young girls, and under each picture, a date. All of them missing. Ayesha's heart dropped. I'm next. She turned to run, but the door slammed shut. A voice echoed behind her. I told you not to ask questions. She turned slowly. Haris was standing there. But this time, he wasn't the same. His eyes were filled with darkness. Ayesha immediately started reciting a prayer. The air changed. Haris stepped back, screaming in pain. Stop this! But she didn't stop. She kept going. Stronger, louder, and then a loud crash. Silence. The next day, the police arrived. The truth came out. Haris was part of a dangerous network. He married orphan girls and made them disappear. Ayesha was the first one who survived. Months later, she left that house forever and returned to the orphanage. But this time, not as a helpless girl, as someone strong, someone who survived. She dedicated her life to protecting girls like her, because she knew what darkness looked like.